I'd like to introduce Raminta. She's the account director for eStore Media. She's coming from the digital agency background. She has a high, in-depth understanding of building brand DNA online, and having previously worked at Saatchi & Saatchi, she has extensive experience managing global accounts, helping brands boost their online sales. And she also holds a PhD in humanities and seamlessly connects those abstract concepts with the quantifiable data. So fascinating to learn about this and hearing more about how these booming online grocery sales are going to impact us for next quarter and beyond.
Well, thank you for the introduction and good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here speaking to you today. I do hope you have enjoyed your long Columbus Day weekend. Before I jump into the juicy part, allow me to briefly introduce eStore Media. We provide product manufacturers with a complete automated toolkit integrating digital shelf analytics with content management and delivery solution. With support offices situated across the globe, we are running projects in over 50 countries. Now, our core product is eStore Check, which delivers complete category, daily insights, and dynamic benchmarking across thousands of online retailers in the world's largest e-commerce markets. In short, we help big international brands and manufacturers to increase their online sales by integrating key e-commerce processes, digital shelf auditing tool eStore Check, and content management platform eStore Content. At our presentation today, we wanted to look beyond the super hot Prime Week, Black Friday, and gifting season. I am certain that the big picture is highly familiar, as most of you probably found yourself in the middle of the booming growth this year. The average market share increased 3 times in the last 7 months alone, although some of the brands report even 20 times increase, by the way. Now, what is important here is that the online grocery penetration compared to 2019 doubled in size, reaching half of the population. And this 51% of the population is responsible for 3 times the spending growth. The projections for the future are extremely exciting and at the same time intimidating, especially for those who are in the early stages of building their e-commerce strategies. Moving on, to avoid repeating some of the big numbers, I want to highlight only 2 key trends. Firstly, we see very wide demographic adoption. Historically, millennials and the youngest Gen Zs were the early adopters of all things digital, including grocery shopping. However, today, their parents are getting more comfortable with ordering their groceries online too. People are far more willing to try e-commerce for the first time, whether the last mile conversion would be in-store pickup or delivery. Even more, the specific health concerns related to COVID have encouraged senior citizens to move to online shopping. What it shows is that the virus shortened the online grocery shopping adoption time by a generation at least. Now, secondly, the preference for grocery shopping online goes beyond COVID. If you look at the table listing the reasons, you'll see that a significant part of the responders named time saving, lack of lines, 24/7 convenience, simplification, and better organization of their shopping process as their core motivating factor. This suggests that traditional American grocery shopping landscape of routine pantry stock-up trips on average 2.6 times per week and supplementing regular smaller fill-in trips to local stores is likely to shift forever. Given the speed and convenience of online shopping, we expect to see a shift in consumer behavior. The regular pantry stock-up trips will be replaced with online orders, and visits to the physical stores will probably serve as a source of discovery and inspiration. Now, how has this impacted the brands? Well, online channels have stepped into the spotlight, and there is now more pressure to provide management with e-commerce strategies, insights, and measurable action plans. Working with our clients, we have seen an immediate jump in tool usage and also a flood of requests asking for training, advice on strategy, or developing a new custom feature would help us or them to report execution status and various parameters to the top management from multiple perspectives. With the 2021, or the hope for 2021 is that with the 4 major drug manufacturers in their advanced trial stages, there is a chance that vaccine-driven immunity will be achieved in some of the world's leading economies. Whether that happens or not, e-com buying preferences will continue to evolve. So here are our 7 strategies, the ones we believe will be vital for helping you to navigate the post-pandemic world. Number 1, for most of the categories, Amazon is perceived as the biggest disruptor. Indeed, it is responsible for 2-day, 1-day, and even free same-day delivery initiatives. But when it comes to grocery, there are multiple national, regional, and local innovators who are defending their market share by actively experimenting at multiple omni-channel interaction points, including things that were already mentioned today, like apps, curbside pickups, drone delivery, digital coupons, integrated recipes, you name it. Now, the chart that you're seeing right now on the screen shows the total number of communicated partnerships and innovations in the US during this summer alone. And that's just the data from one source. As you can see, Instacart is well ahead with 7 initiatives in the 4-month period, while Walmart is on equal footing with Amazon, others not far behind them. Also, this is not a conclusive list. Numerous other initiatives were also piloting innovations and new ways, so MVPs, to attract the shopper and consumer. Number 2, we urge you to think outside the box. More grocery subcategories gain traction among shoppers. For example, historically, grocery supermarkets were strongly associated with freshness and the best quality of perishable items. As the chart highlights, within less than a year, this perception has changed dramatically, driving the online sales on fresh goods as well. We'll be jumping into number 3, which is in some cases really the most fundamental one. Take control of your out of stocks. Our online third-party monitoring tool shows that the 2020 average out of stock level was at 14%, which is rather bad, but doesn't sound exactly catastrophic. However, majority of the shoppers recognize product unavailability as a problem and report being concerned. With the virus cases continuing to rise across the US this fall, 52% of Americans plan to stockpile food and essentials, according to last night's NBC News. This means that we can expect another wave of panic shopping, and your out of stocks will become the opportunity for your competitors. So this is definitely, in some cases, I would even say that's a strategy 0. This is complete fundamental, the point you should start with. If your out of stocks are not in control, then a lot of other strategies don't really matter. Next, number 4. So the faster you can take action, the faster you will close your execution gaps. To achieve the efficiency, your internal processes should be simple and streamlined. If your data is scattered across multiple systems and methodologies, your performance at retailer A is not directly comparable to retailer B. What is more, if you have 16 ways of analyzing a business, then you need to train everybody on those 16 ways. And it doesn't need to be this complicated. As an example, we can track over 100 of KPIs, but in majority of the cases, you only need to focus on the same 3 across multiple channels, which is keep your levels of out of stocks below 5%, execute your content with excellence, and increase your visibility in search. Now, on the screen, you can see a few numbers. What we find is that the typical average content execution reaches 29%, meaning that less than a third of your portfolio meets the benchmark that the brands set themselves. Similarly, the keywords that brands use at the starting point generate only half of the fair share they would expect to have. Now, on top of that, your management dashboard should be easy to understand and include results from the broadest set of e-commerce performance indicators, including availability, content, pricing, promotion, search, performance, ratings, reviews, and even iMedia. And it should be done on the same footing across all online retailers. Now, Amanda has given a fantastic presentation on the search, and I just want to chip in a bit of a few additional ideas, promising that I will not be repeating too much what you were saying. But we also believe that content needs to be aligned with your search terms. The painful fact is that your content execution is directly impacting your search share. If your product is not visible on the first page of the search results, it's as good as not listed. Many speakers before me talked about increasing competition and decreasing ROI. But unless you have an extremely strong brand and people will search for your products by the brand name, you have to ensure you tick all the boxes for winning the search. Food is a super hot category with lots of newcomers. You have to stay up to date on all the most important and upcoming keywords. Make sure you have the tool for identifying upcoming trends in store, but also before the shoppers hit the store. You have to connect the conversations happening on Google and third parties and translate them into quick e-content strategy. In many stores, you will see a direct impact of paid search results on improved rankings. We just saw a number of brands using this trick ahead of the Prime Day. They boosted their presence before Prime Day to be better positioned when the shoppers hit the stores. Also, make sure you understand seasonal keywords. Like chocolate candy, for example, you will not see it performing consistently in the historical data for the last 6 months, but when Halloween comes, it's going to be number one. And make sure your content agency is data fluent. Their KPI needs to be improving your position in search, not creating colorful product cards. Okay, I have number 6, which is automate. Of course, automation is a hot topic, and a lot of companies are talking about it. And if we look at it, the typical technology stack that an average brand uses to optimize their e-commerce can be unnecessarily complicated. We believe in creating ecosystems which are integrated at every crucial touch point, allowing e-commerce managers to spot the gaps easily and take actions. So ensure that your auditing tool directly triggers gap closing actions. Historically, audits, content, and ratings and reviews systems were completely independent, but they don't have to be anymore. Automate the growing number of e-commerce related tasks and processes, enable your brand and your team and different account teams to actually focus on value generating activities. I'm sure you all know that e-commerce skills are very rare in the market. So make sure that you eliminate the non-value adding work for these people through the tools that drive process. You want them to be focused on ROI activities, not doing the repetitive work. For example, in the area of auditing, we have talked to many brands who claim that they can do it themselves on an occasional basis, and once in a while they could check. So probably yes, but is that really the best use of these managers' time to be checking your top 100 SKUs at top 5 e-retailers daily, or even once a week? And then last but not least, while CPG brands may not enjoy the same level of activity as other categories when it comes to reviews, for some subcategories, they do matter. When choosing the wine for Thanksgiving dinner, an occasional wine shopper will be checking the opinions of others. It is a high-value item, an important feature of the meal, and family satisfaction is essential. This serves to remind that reviews are your best window to understanding your consumer. And that's why their sentiment has to be on your radar. So in conclusion, the shifting shopper behavior is yet to stabilize, but there is no doubt that e-commerce will be getting more traffic than it ever had before. It is an open question where that traffic will be coming from. And at this stage, I'm sure nobody can be certain, but we can also look at other categories for ideas and inspirations and make sure we are ready for any scenario that comes in. Like with clothing and electronics, grocery is moving online. And to win it, you have to have your channel strategies in place and properly sorted. I will stop sharing at this point.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I love the insight you shared towards the end about leveraging the technology tools to take work off of your plate, especially for your team's plate on redundant things. You know, when you can focus them on high ROI activities, I think that's a great reminder to all of us, because so many times we think we can do it ourselves, and it's much smarter to outsource some of that. So thank you for that reminder. Chuck, we have any questions?
We do. So on visibility and search, are there differences between retailers, or would a single strategy work across all retailers?
Oh, certainly there are differences across retailers. And you know, just to take a very simple example, you know that certain keywords rotate really well and bring you certain results on Amazon, but not necessarily the same keywords will be working on Walmart or Target. So you definitely have to tailor that, and they have to be retailer specific.
Okay. And then if you're experiencing high out of stocks, mainly due to production restraints, do you think you're better off curbing the promotion on all the sites, or just limiting the sites it's on and continue to promote?
Well, I think there is no one single and correct answer here. You probably need to experience and test and trial both strategies, and maybe it also it can be that it's different thing on different retailer. So yeah, no really one recipe, no one solution that fits all.
Okay, that works. Okay, I think that's all the questions we have.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Raminta.
Thank you.